Okay, so I have some Loquat trees, Japanese plum, that I've been growing, and they've been in pots. I upsized the pots and stuff, but I want to go ahead and transplant them in the ground. I transplanted one yesterday, took photos, but I didn't put it on video, so today I thought I'd do one on video. But these are my two Loquat trees. They're doing pretty well right here. They look healthy, and I'm gonna go ahead and do it on video. The pots are pretty big. They're not root bound, at least the one I planted yesterday, so it's the proper time. So this is what the one that I planted yesterday looks like, and then I'll show you how I prepped the soil. So right now, here you go. This is yesterday. I went ahead, that's all the dirt that I took out of the ground. And then in that hole is 100% pure horse manure with composted chips from that pile right over there. Or excuse me, right over there. And then I topped it off with some fresh chips that I have over here. So everything that I plant, I have to put a little fence around it, because if you look, last night the deer were already in here. The deer were already checking this out. What happens is if you don't put this around it, they'll strip off all the leaves, and then when the rut season comes, they'll go ahead and scrape off all the bark on the bottom of the tree trunk, and that will kill the plant. So until my tree gets a certain height, I'm going to leave this around. When it gets a certain height on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and put perforated pipes so the bucks can't scrape the velvet off their racks and ruin the tree. And when it's a certain height, I don't care if they eat the bottom fruit or the bottom leaves, as long as the rest of the tree is high enough. I don't mind feeding the wildlife. But anyway, this is on this side of the property. I'm going to go over to the other side of the property, which I already started digging the hole, but let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the property, and as you can see, I started digging a hole with my tractor. That's a 66-inch bucket. So I'm doing 6 foot by 6 foot, and down as far as the bucket goes. I'm not down there yet, but that's going to be about a 3 to 4 foot hole. And what I did was I just kind of lined it up to where it's in line with my comfrey and my Mexican sunflower and my palms and the house. So I wanted it positioned really good. It's in line where it's not going to interfere with my chips drops coming in. And it's not going to interfere with the side of my house, where I could go ahead and take my trailer and move it out, drive it around the lake and take it out, and then drive it back in here and back it up. So anyway, let me go ahead and position the camera, and I'm going to go ahead and finish digging this out. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go over there, if I could do this right in the camera, over there, and I'm going to get that horse manure and fill this in with 100% horse manure. So let me position the camera and get to work. Okay, so I step down in here. Comes about up to my waist. That's about 1, 2, 3, 3-ish. 66 inches. Now I'm going to go ahead and level this out all around here. Then I'm going to go get some horse manure. Okay, this is in my way, so I'm going to shut it off as I do that. Okay, I went ahead and leveled out the area. So it's flat here, it slopes down because I'm going to fill all that in over there after a while. The hole itself, 66 inches, 66 inches, 3 or 4 foot deep, something like that. That's about as deep as that bucket will go. Now I'm going to go over there and go get some horse manure and fill this in 100% with horse manure. Okay, this looks pretty good. Now I'm going to try to line it up. Okay, this looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and line it up where I want it. I think I want it right there. Better yet, I'm going to go get the plant now, see how it looks before I dig the hole. Okay, I put my forks on there. Now we'll go over and get the plant. Okay, that's a Japanese plum, red Loquat. That one's a white Loquat, but I want to plant the red. Boy, that sure does beat carrying it by hand, doesn't it? Okay, I want most of the branches growing that way, away from the house. So this side looks pretty flat. So let me turn it that way. Branches are going to grow that way, and that way. And that way. So that's how I want it. Okay, let's see how that looks. come up just a little bit. The roots are all looking good. They're facing down. It's not root bound, so this should be nice. Pretty level. Tree is nice and straight. That branch is going that way. That one that way. Maybe just a hair more that way. Okay, this branch is going that way, not going to the house. That branch is going that way. Now this branch will grow and it still be that way. Nothing right there at the moment. Even this one's going that way. So that should be good. So with that said, it's not below the ground, it's pretty level. This is a little bit above, so that looks good. It's facing, it's this way, and that way lined up, looks good. And I have these branches going in the direction I want. That's real important. I don't want to face this or this going right to the house because it might grow over it, so I'm good. Okay, once again, this is 100% about a little over 3-year-old horse manure. It's like dirt right now. Okay, there you go. I planted my red Loquat tree pretty much level with the ground, 6 foot by 6 foot square, 3 to 4 feet down, added 100% composted horse manure. Now I'm going to go get a bucket load of about 1.5 year old composted chips, and then once I spread that out, I'm going to put a bucket or 2 bucket loads, maybe 3, of fresh chips on top to hold the moisture in. We're above the water table here. Down there is the water table with the pond. So we're nice and dry. If the roots want water, it'll go down deeper. But I plant all my fruit trees just like this. When I plant banana plants, I add composted chips in there, and maybe even a log on the bottom for the hugelculture method. I plant it over there more by the water source, so the roots go down and suck up the water because they like water. These, they don't really want to be submerged in water. They just want good, moist, drained soil. So underneath all the composted horse manure is sand, so it's well drained. I think it's going to be happy here, just like that one's going to be happy over there. So that one there is basically like a yellowish color. This is a red, and then the other one I'm going to plant later is going to be a white. And that's about all I'm going to have as far as loquats go. For today's video, this is how I plant the loquat tree. And let me go get the chips, finish this off. Okay, let's go get the chips. Okay, this is aged composted chips. Let me take that out real quick. Okay, that's all I need of that. Now I'll go get some regular chips. is in here good. It's not up against the trunk of the tree. It's a little down, then it goes level, then down. I think that's, when I do it, this is perfectly level, it's round. I don't put it up against the tree, and it's covered good. This will break down and be good topsoil as time goes by. It'll put minerals in the ground, and it'll keep the weeds out. It'll be easy to take the weeds out. So now, all around this, I got to go get a fence and put it up, because the deer will come in and start chomping that off tonight. So let me go get that. This is how I rip all my shirts, right here on these things. Just like that. Okay, there you go. Now the deer, they might be able to get a couple leaves, but they're not going to chomp down the whole thing. So anyway, that's it. I went ahead and dug a 6 by 6 hole, 3 to 4 feet deep, filled it with 100% composted horse manure. Went ahead and compacted it, then dug out, planted the tree, made it to where it was slightly above ground but level, got composted chips, put a little bit around, the nutrients could go in the ground, then put fresh chips around, that'll hold the moisture down, and then put a deer barrier all the way around it till the tree has a chance to grow higher than where the deer can reach. And then I'll go ahead and put some corrugated tubing around the stem or the trunk of the tree so the bucks can't scrape their horn. And that's how we do it here in Florida, or at least that's the frugal hoogle gardener's way of planting fruit trees that will have excellent manure or compost, nutrients naturally all the way around and all the way below it, so those roots could spread out nice and have all that good growth power, which you'll see over the next few months. And hopefully here soon I'll have a really nice fruit tree. One down there, one over here. Almost forgot, I gotta go ahead and water it in with some nice well water. I'll just go ahead and let that run like that until it fills in that 6x6 hole all the way down and this starts overflowing. Now I'm going to look for a place to plant my white Loquat tree. Until then, I hope you enjoyed.